Alright, so in this one, I want to discuss something, and it's going to be something kind of similar to what I've said before, but with more equilibrium. It's going to be more discussing why Legends, you can see in the title, thumbnail, whatever, is in the best and also the worst spot it's ever been. Now, there is usually an objective mindset, right? Not really subjective. If you don't know, objective is like, it's clear cut, like this is true 100%. Subjective would be opinionated. It's very subjective how Legends is right now. So the objective part is Legends in the past has had very cancerous and shitty metas and very just boring, tedious matchups, right? And right now, we are in a very subjective area of Legends. I don't know why I felt the need to define that for you guys, but just so we're in the clear, that's how we're basing this off. So, subjectively, I think Legends in the worst meta it's ever been. Objectively, I think you can't tell. Now, why do I think it's in the worst meta? But why do I also think this is one of the best? Well, it's the worst because of the units that exist, right? You can't go a day without mentioning or seeing Zenkais if you play Legends. It's just how it works and how it's going to be forever and ever and ever until this game shuts down, or they eventually nerf them, which I doubt either will be happening soon. So, you look, you obviously have LF Gohan, you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Namek Goku, all of them. Purple Super Saiyan 3, Ready Gogeta, Bardock. Basically, just those couple are the best of the best. There's others that are close, but those are like the prime suspects of this worst meta. But why it's really good. Now let me discuss that part first, right? So personally, I don't like it. But why this meta is very good. It allows anyone to have the best of the best. Now, maybe you're not going to have LF Namek Goku 7 stars, LF Gohan, or LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Given that is okay, you don't need them. That's why this meta is the best of the best. It allows any Joe Schmo, any free-to-play, anyone to save up 14,000 to 21,000 Chrono Crystals and get 3 Zenkai 7s and 3 amazing units that can carry you to top 5, number 1 even, in PvP. No, they don't have to be LFs. You could get Bardock and Super Gogeta. You could get Blue Goku and God Vegeta. You can get Purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Red Gogeta. Like, you can get anyone. You don't just need the LFs. You can get Boo and DKP. That's a phenomenal combo. You can get triple Regen. Legend Road Piccolo, Boo, and DKP. You could get Scouter Vegeta to Zenkai buff your Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then Purple Super Saiyan 4 to get double Zenkai buff by them. You don't need these abhorrent amount of stars, these, oh, I need to pull this LF 11 times so I can run them because they're going to Zenkai. Even if you're new. You can pull a new unit. You pull them, what, 5 times, 4 times to get them to 7 stars? There you go. Or maybe not a new unit, but a new unit to your account because you're new to the game. This meta allows anyone to be great, which also is why I think it's the worst meta, because, look, I'm an avid speaker of my mind on my channel here, and I think that's rightfully so, because there's a lot of things that are wrong with this game that I feel like don't get mentioned by maybe bigger, smaller, whoever type of creators. They just don't mention it because it's like, they just kind of accepted that that's the fate of the game. Like, they're not going to just keep mentioning it. I feel like if you try to beat something, like beating a dead horse, they feel like they're doing. And I'm just keep beating the dumbass horse with complaining about Zenkais. I also feel like it's supposed to happen because I shouldn't be, let's say for example, I run someone with 60 good games. And this didn't happen to me, right? Never could. It's not RNG or anything. Run someone with 60 good games, and they have Bardock and Gogeta, Zenkai 7. Maybe they're just like 7 to 9 stars, but they have both of those Zenkai 7, then they have like double HP bench with the Raditz and Shallot because those are easy to 6 star, and then maybe some attack bench. Whatever, a generic Saiyan team / Super Saiyan team, and then they wipe the floor with me. Let's say I'm using, I don't know, hybrids. Let's say I'm using Future. Let's say I'm using God Key, Rival Universe. They wipe the floor with me. Not because necessarily they're better, but it's more like, let's say I use Rival Universe. Their team is just better. They might be new to the game. I might be playing for the last 2 years straight. But their double Zenkai is 20 times better than my rival universe team. I don't care if I have full 14 stars. It's just a fact. Now, it's obviously a skill difference. If I'm worse, then obviously I will lose. But understanding that if you're a new player, you probably don't know all the mechanics. And really, the only reason you would win in that matchup would be, oh, you have Bardock, you have Gogeta, you got very good crits, and you auto-clicked cards. Boom, my hit is dead. Boom, my Bergamo's dead. If I don't have my Topo, I'm dead. Like, someone will die because Gogeta, Zenkai 7, 1400%, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna one-combo you if he has Bardock buffs, and he's getting crits. There is no counterplay to it. So while I argue, yes, this could be one of the best metas in some people's opinions, it's, for a lot of people, also, like, I would say it's an even 50-50, maybe a little less because there's less newer players than there is old veteran players. It's one of the worst metas because, like I said in the beginning, any random Joe Schmo can just, oh, poof! Zenkai 7 Bardock Gogeta, Zenkai 7 Blue Goku, and God Vegeta, poof! Zenkai 7 DKP and Boo, given DKP's a little harder than Zenkai 7 because he's not returning very often and he's just unfeatured, you know, randomness. Poof! I'll get double rushed in the next 20 counts from the beginning of the match if they have Zenkai 7 DKP and Boo. And those aren't really the hardest to get. It's obviously easier than LFs. Well, in some scenarios, depending how often they return. But in most scenarios, you can get more stars on your featured units, or your 1% units, or were 1% now unfeatured, than you can on your LFs, typically. So, is it good for the game? That's probably the main question you're thinking. Is it good that anyone can get to these star mounts, anyone can get to these high ranks quickly, being new or being a veteran, because Zenkais exist, and that's the only reason it does exist? Yes and no. Obviously for the people that, you know, have spent a good while on this game, like, not even talking monetarily, I'm just talking like good, like, time frame from, let's say, at least a year ago. Obviously they don't like it. Personally, I don't see it as the biggest problem. I just don't enjoy that it exists. I don't enjoy the new player doesn't have to learn as much as I had to learn when I started. Now, to get, like, in-depth on that, I started first anniversary, and nothing was really, like, game-defining broken. Like, I didn't own anything that was game-defining. I pulled and re-rolled for Super Vegito, Blue Goku, Vegeta, all of them. Got them to okay stars. Like, back then, it was, what, 3 stars was, like, okay enough, because that got the double Z ability. So it was enough, right? I re-rolled, I got them, then I ran Vegeta, Goku, Whis, which was probably the optimal team, where I ran Super Vegito, Transforming Gogeta, and Red Vegito. Again, another optimal team. Or Regen with Yellow Cell and I'm not sure who else. Buhan and who else? Slug, I think. Slug, yeah. Which, optimal teams. Now, back then, it was, okay, 800 HP, or 800k HP max, typically, like around that area. And you have to do about 4 to 6 combos because there's not a lot of damage buffs kicking in, there's not a lot of anything kicking in. The most strong thing in the game at that point is Buhan's barrier and lock-in / Super Vegito's canceling all buffs, but not a lot of units got buffs besides Super Vegito, because every single time, you know, you deal with this blank card, he gets this blank buff, etc., etc. But not a lot of units were getting all those crazy buffs like we get today, where canceling attribute upgrade is really a phenomenal treat that some of these units get. That wasn't the case back then. So you actually had to learn and play through, and just, you would get better as the fight progressed. Nowadays, it is, well, if you have Bardock and you got Gogeta and you're getting good RNG, you're going to kill somebody. You don't have to sidestep, you don't have to charge step, you don't have to drop combo, you don't have to learn tech. You can just brain dead kill somebody. And that's the part I dislike, because this meta will die eventually. Every meta does come down to a fall. And yes, we have been in this meta of, I guess, Zenkai, more or less, instead of, let's say, LF Gohan and, you know, all these others that are seen as broken. For the last year and a half, yeah, a year and a half, I would say it started when Boo originated, because Beerus obviously was very, very, unseen. You saw him like every 150 matches because no one had Beerus 7 stars. Broly wasn't that crazy when he first dropped, Blue Broly. And Red Namek Goku just took too long. Then you had Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I believe, was next, who was okay, but no one really had him 7 stars. Usually because he was never on banners, and Hybris just wasn't a very good team at the time. Then you had, I believe Boo was next. And Boo was the originator of Zenkai's being meta. Because yes, Beerus was meta, but Boo was for everyone. Boo was 1% unit, he's been on super duper amount of banners, and Regen was a team that was already being built up from Anniversary, from the first year. So Boo having a Zenkai, a lot of Regen users, went toward him. And people that didn't main Regen went toward him. I remember. I mained Regen after first Anniversary. I just liked the team. I liked Buhan because his barrier. I love barrier type units like that. Not really Nova because, well, he's not very good. But I love barrier units like that. So I was like, okay, I'll main Regen. And then I saw Fat Boo get a Zenkai. I instantly spent, what was it, 6 to 7k back then to Zenkai 3. Got him Zenkai 3. I saw that lock on Strike Arts at Zenkai 3. I was like, yup, this is broken. Because Tackle was still existent. Tackle Step, if you don't know what Tackle Step was, it was essentially you could infinitely tackle somebody. And let's say they were a newer player, they sidestep it. Well, they're screwed because they're not going to switch in time. Or you could wait for them to sidestep after they switch. It allowed a lot of BS play. And it was taken out, kind of shortly after it was introduced, a few months in. But that, along with Fat Boo being existent, made the game a lot less counterplay. Because it used to be, okay, type advantage, type disadvantage, blah, 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 blah. Now allow units to have type neutral at this point. Only LF Gohan, and he wasn't really that relevant. Now I'm talking first Anniversary area, right? Not allow units to have type neutral at that point. So it's like, okay, you just go with your advantages, you try to time your sub counts, try to time your timer counts, and you just kind of play and flow with it. Obviously, if somebody has sub count reduction, they're very good. But again, that didn't truly exist once all those units came out. There was really no 20,000 IQ plays you could typically make. It was just stay type advantage, and you'll win the match. There's no 5 sub count down by Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Every time this guy's hit, your allies get 1 sub count down per hit. That wasn't existent. That just didn't happen. There was some counterplay with barriers, which being basically a second vanish back in the day, because you would only keep a character in with no vanish if you had a barrier and or a rising rush, because tackle wasn't used that often because you could just, I think, backdash away and avoid it because tackles went to shitty ranges at first, then they adjusted it to make it broken, then they made it how it is now, where it's pretty mediocre, kind of predictable, which is actually good that there's a mechanic that's predictable because a lot of this game is unpredictable. But yeah, overall, I'm not really like struck by it. I'm just a little confused how we got here and trying to figure out in my own head while I'm recording this, because I don't like to pre-plan anything. I just like to off the cuff just keep going. If this actually is good, longevity wise for this game, I'd say yes, because allowing and introducing new players to be able to play at whatever PvP rank they want is good. Now, is it great that you don't really have to learn? No, but eventually those players will experience the learning curve of the game once these units, fall down in the rankings, get toned down, whatever that happens to them. They'll eventually have to learn, okay, well, I actually have to learn how to play the game now and not just rely on stupid luck, because truly it's just stupid luck how this game works right now. So I would say this game is in a fine spot. We're not in the Super Baby 2 regen meta where everyone's healing and you have to wait until the match timer counts are over, 180 counts, for the game to end. We're not there. But we're also in a super fast-paced meta where you won't even make it past 80 counts 90% of your matches. You're playing against Regen. The only reason you would make it past 100 counts in a match is if you both miss your Rising Rush and you're both running healing type units like Angel, Vegeta, Vados, and all that, and super tanky units like Super Saiyan 3 Goku with like 5 defense bench and a health bench. That's how you would, have these matches go on forever and ever and ever. That's not where we're at fully. We're more at the, okay, well, LF Gohan has an ally dead. It's a Sun family member. He's going to go and decimate every single thing to existence. That's just how it's going to work. So again, this meta isn't the best, it isn't the worst. I think it's very good for introducing players. I think it's bad for the learning curve for those players, but it does allow some skill gap in a regard, because yes, in the top ranks, in the higher ranks, you will have to learn. You can't just, okay, willy-nilly it. Given some matches you can, and it's just shitty that that exists. But in a lot of higher matches, you do have to learn, because so many cover units exist, and all these other shenanigans that have been introduced in the last 2 years since first anniversary. It is what it is, though. I don't think this game is going to hurt itself by introducing this mechanic of, okay, you can be a decent rank if you're new. You can. Typically, that wasn't a scenario. Just back in the day, it wasn't the greatest scenario. It was obviously more likely without Zenkais existing, but with Zenkais existing that are broken as hell, it gives a sense of, okay, I can actually compete, which I think is a good thing in that scheme. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think we're in the shittiest meta of the game or the best meta of the game? Let me know, and I'll see you guys tonight for the breakdown, if there needs to be one, which I don't think there will be because there's no new units, I think, coming. There is some maintenance, but I think it's just for a LF, like, Kid Buu banner or something. PvP maintenance is tonight, and shop maintenance, so hopefully Super Chrono Crystals, so I can, buy that and get more CC. But, yeah, I don't think anything's coming tonight, but if there is, obviously I'll do a video about it, and talk about it, and discuss it, and showcase it if whatever's coming is coming. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this whole entire video, if you agree or disagree, and I'll see you guys in the next one.